Hebrews, Hebrews, Hebrews. This is our non-Messianic conversations. This is our men's advanced Bible study, night 29th of uh, November 2024. Okay, and the title inside the class is we'll be dealing with mass deportation, which is we see coming up in Trump coming into office in January 2021, 2020, January 21. Okay. You can go to this our channel, non-Messianic Conversations. Check out our videos. We have a few videos on the channel, trying to build it up, and you can check out the information and examine it if you like what you're hearing and receiving. I'm asking you to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Okay, this is a non-Messianic channel. We deal with the Tanakh and the Torah. Tanakh being the Old Testament, so-called Book of Remembrance, and Torah is the first 5 books of the Old Testament that was given to Moses, okay, by our Redeemer, Lord of Hosts. Shalom and welcome to this channel. Welcome to our men's advanced Bible study. We're going to do our normal, which is a moment of silence, prayer, Psalms. We have some current events, some needed know information. Then we open it up for some Q&A and dialogue for anybody that have any. Then we go into the topic. Like I said, I have a few videos that I want to play and discuss. I'll play them, and then as I play them, we'll break them down. Get some feedback on it. Okay. This moment of silence for the Lord of Hosts and all that He's doing to bring about our prophesied deliverance in these last days. Okay. Well, Lord, we come before Thee at this hour on your day that you are giving us for rest on your Sabbath, praising you and honoring you because of your position both in heaven and upon the earth, the position in which Creator Yahweh have given unto Thee. Okay. Oh Lord, we pray unto Thee that you continue to let your light shine down upon us in spirit and in truth. When we love you and we seek you daily, O Lord, there is none else besides Thee to redeem us. When we see you in the affairs of the world, and we faithfully await your deliverance. Peace be unto Thee. Okay, so with that being said, I'm going to read the Psalms right quick. Okay, I'm going to read the Psalms. Okay. I'll read Psalm 52. It's a caution to the prideful wicked. Why boast thou thyself in mischief, O mighty man? The goodness of God endureth continuously. The tongue deviseth mischief, like a sharp razor, working deceitfully. Thou lovest evil more than good, and lying rather than to speak righteousness. Selah. Thou lovest all devouring words, O thou deceitful tongue. God shall likewise destroy thee forever. He shall take thee away and pluck thee out of thy dwelling place and root thee out of the land of the living. Selah, the righteous also shall see and fear and shall laugh at him. Lo, this is the man that made not God his strength, but trusted in words. All their thoughts are against me for evil. They gather themselves together. They hide themselves. They mark my steps. When they wait for my soul, shall they escape by iniquity? In thy anger cast down the people, O God. Thou tellest my wanderings. Put thou my tears into a bottle. Are they not in thy book? When I cry unto thee, then shall my enemies turn back. I know, for God is for me. In God will I praise his word. In the Lord will I praise his word. In God have I put my trust, and I will not be afraid what man can do unto me. Thy vows are upon me, O God. I will render praises unto thee, for thou hast delivered my soul from death, and will not thou deliver or my feet from falling, that I may walk before God in the light of the living. So this song was Psalm 56, and it says the title is okay. The truth, I missed that off. Oh, okay, let me see. Say a confident prayer for help. I think I got the pages stuck. I started on 52. Caution for a prideful wicked. Let me finish reading that. Okay. I start verse 6. It says, righteous also shall see and fear and shall laugh at him. Lo, this man that made not God his strength, but trusted in the abundance of his riches and strengthened himself in his wickedness. But I am like a green olive tree in the house of God. I trust in the mercy of God forever and ever, and I will praise thee forever, because thou hast done it, and I will wait on thy name, for it is good before the saints. Okay, that was Psalms 52, caution for the prideful wicked. Any comments on that? I know I messed it up, but anybody have any comments on it? Okay. So with that being said, we go to some current events, right? We'll play this first one and see how they go. Okay.
Leaders were going to simply roll over in the wake of his upcoming presidency and the many threats he has already made. He is in for a rude awakening. We are already seeing leaders across the world standing up to Trump, threatening retaliation if Trump moves ahead with his plans, and in some cases, even warning Trump that he will be met with opposition if he steps foot into their countries. My name is Brent Meiselas with the Midas Touch Network. Remember to hit subscribe now and help us get to 4 million subscribers. First, I want to show you Scottish Member of Parliament Patrick Harvey. Harvey went viral a few weeks ago, you may remember, for speaking out about Trump to Scotland's First Minister, John Swinney, and this week, Harvey warned Trump that if he steps foot in Scotland, he will be met with, quote, very, very strong protests in the street. Watch this.
I've no doubt that if the threat of a Trump visit to Scotland does materialise, he'll be met with very, very strong protest in the streets, at the golf courses or wherever else he intends to go. He represents a set of toxic values: misogyny, racism, climate denial, conspiracy theories, and a very clear threat to the democratic norms that our society depends on. And I have no doubt that Scotland will respond with very strong protest if he comes to visit Scotland again. Look, there is a very understandable position that governments will set out, saying they need to maintain a relationship with another country. The point I would make here is that the people in the US with whom we should be proud to have a relationship are the very people Donald Trump threatens. The most marginalized, the most vulnerable, the people whose human rights he intends to destroy, as well as those who are working for climate action. You know, at state and city level and in civil society in the US, there are people who share our values, who share a commitment to democracy, to human rights, to climate action, and to so much more. We should be forging a deeper relationship with those people, not with Donald Trump and his family.
Powerful and very well said. By the way, if you didn't see what he said right after Trump's victory, let me play it for you now. This was such a great moment. Watch this.
Yesterday, the First Minister offered congratulations to the convicted felon Donald Trump on his re-election. Writing officially on behalf of the Scottish Government, he wrote that he is sure Scotland's cultural and social ties with the US will flourish during the presidency of a misogynist, a climate denier, a fraudster, a conspiracy monger, a racist, a far-right politician who tried to overturn an election result both covertly and by inciting violence. Words fail me. What social and cultural ties does the First Minister really think will benefit from a relationship with such a man? And more importantly, what has the First Minister done so far to reach out to the marginalized and vulnerable people whose lives are most directly threatened by a second Trump term?
First Minister.
Presiding Officer, I have a duty
as First Minister of Scotland to engage with other governments and to represent the people of Scotland in that process. And as part of that duty, I wrote the letter in question that Mr. Harvey cites. I think there are deep cultural, social and economic ties between Scotland and the United States of America. I think they're important. They're important for employment in our economy. They're important for the cultural expression of our country and for the way in which we are able to pursue those objectives. So whilst there are very clearly, because of what I said before the presidential election, very big real differences in expression and in priority and in way of life between me and Donald Trump, I cannot deny the existence of links between Scotland and the United States. And regardless of the presidential choice in the United States, I want to maintain good relationships between Scotland and the United States. What I would say to Mr. Harvey, and I think he knows me well enough to know, that the concerns of people who feel marginalised in our society, who feel under threat, are questions and concerns that I wrestle with every single day as First Minister, because I stood here and I pledged to be the First Minister of all of Scotland, and that's entirely what I intend to do.
And by now you've probably heard that Trump has promised on day one to implement a 25% tariff on goods imported from our biggest trading partners, Mexico and Canada, and plans to add an additional 10% tariff on products imported from China. As a reminder, these are taxes placed on American businesses buying products from these countries, which in turn get passed on to the American consumer. So not only are American businesses upset, not only are American consumers upset, but this has also quickly prompted outrage in these countries as they gear up for a full-scale trade war. As a Twitter user named Hayden writes, "You've got to admit, a majority of the country voting for a man because of the price of goods are too high, only for him to increase prices on his first day in office, has to be regarded as one of the greatest social experiments of all time." Well,
okay. Any comments on that? Any feedback?
Shalom.
Okay.
Yeah, they are not holding him responsible here in the United States, but these other nations and countries are going to hold him for what he is, a convicted felon and everything else. So you might be getting way here, but the countries are going to hold him accountable for what he is and what he is doing.
Yeah, exactly. If you remember, when he was his first term, when he was going through those countries, they didn't even give him no respect. They was laughing at him when he got up to speak at the UN. Everybody in the UN was laughing at him. They take him as a joke. Okay. Anybody else got anything on that? Okay. Here we go.
Maddow just blew the lid off a massive Republican scandal, so make sure you stick to the end because you'll want to hear all about this. Now, this massive scandal is coming out of North Carolina, and Rachel Maddow is going to first explain how Republicans overall did not do well in that state, and then she's going to show what they're doing that's got everyone in a rage. So let's take a look at this.
North Carolina is one of the states where Republicans did not do as well as they wanted to in this past election. Yes, Trump did still win the state of North Carolina, which I think was the thing they most cared about. He won by about 3 points in the presidential race in North Carolina. But even as Trump won the presidential race there, the Republican...
Yeah, so like she's saying right here, it's not even making no sense. He won the as a Republican president in North Carolina, but nobody else won.
Candidate in North Carolina for governor, he lost that race in the state of North Carolina. The Republican candidate lost the lieutenant governor's race
Everybody else
in North
lost,
Carolina.
but he
The
won.
Republican candidate lost the attorney general's race in North Carolina. The Republican candidate lost the Secretary of State's race in North Carolina. Also, the Republican candidate to be state schools chief. This is a race I was particularly keeping my eye on. The Republican candidate lost that race in North Carolina, too. The reason I was watching that one closely is because that was the race where the Republican candidate for schools chief said she wanted a pay-per-view public televised execution of former President Barack Obama. She also demanded the execution of President Biden, Hillary Clinton, Chuck Schumer, Anthony Fauci, a former New York governor, the current North Carolina governor, a member of Congress from Minnesota. Also, she wanted to execute Bill Gates. And honestly, it was a lot from her, but she was the Republican Party's nominee for superintendent of public schools for the state of North Carolina this year. And she lost that election, along with almost all the Republican candidates for statewide office in North Carolina. So, yes, in North Carolina this year, Trump won the presidential race, but Republicans lost almost everything else in the state. Heading into this election, North Carolina Republicans held a supermajority in that state legislature, but in this election, they lost that supermajority. Democrats made enough inroads in that state legislature this year, in this election, that Republicans in North Carolina no longer have a supermajority that allows them to override the veto, for example, from the governor. In the face of that oncoming change, Republicans took this bill making various changes to the laws of dentistry. They took the laws of dentistry bill and they turned it into something very much not that, which is probably good news for drunken dentists. Bad news for mannequins, but it's also really big news, big audacious news for what Republicans are apparently trying to do in North Carolina on their way out the door. This is footage from the North Carolina state legislature, people being cleared out of the gallery in the state legislature for protesting against what the Republicans are trying to do with this bill that started off a dentistry bill and that has turned into something much more radical. Republicans took this laws of dentistry bill, they gutted it, they took out all the dentist stuff. They then decided they would call it their hurricane relief bill. You remember all the horrible storms in Western North Carolina right before the election. They said it would be their hurricane relief bill, but what the bill actually does is it changes the state government in North Carolina. So all the state government positions that are about to be held by Democrats will have their power stripped away from them. The governor of North Carolina, for example, will no longer be allowed to appoint judges as he sees fit. Under this new bill, he will literally be required in certain circumstances to appoint judges that have been approved explicitly by the state Republican Party. The state Republican Party has to approve the Democratic governor's judicial picks. The Attorney General under this bill will not be allowed to oppose anything that is done by the Republicans in the state legislature, even if the Attorney General thinks it's against the laws of the state. Power over the administration of elections in North Carolina would inexplicably, under this bill, it would inexplicably be moved wholesale into the office of the state auditor. State auditor being in charge of elections? Why would Republicans change North Carolina state law so the state auditor is suddenly the person in charge of elections? Oh, because state auditor is the one race that Republicans won this year in North Carolina.
State auditor candidate Dave Bollock, he said, I'm only in politics for you, sir. Where is Dave? Anybody that would save, Dave, if you say that, and do you mean that? If you mean that, I'm for you all the way. He has my endorsement.
I'm only in politics for you, sir.
Okay. Comments? I think they're going somewhere over there. I think it's going to spread because it don't add up. Numbers don't add up because how can you lose all the other offices to the Democrats, but you win the Republican side of the house? They don't add up.
Yeah, the Republicans, right? That was that heavy set black brother, right? That was the Republican governor, right? He was running for. He was the lieutenant governor, I believe.
Yeah.
And
They said he was going to be one of his. They had it for one of Trump vice president picks.
Right, right.
Yes.
And he lost in North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Everybody lost except Trump. He the one. He won. He won the state, but everybody else in the state lost. So that don't add up. No kind of way.
Mm-hmm. Good
Yeah,
point.
that's crazy. Is there something? So with that being said, I got some need to know information. I'm gonna play it and then we'll chop it up. Okay.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. I hope everyone is paying attention. I have some more news for you. America is a disaster in the making. America is about to implode with grief because they keep making enemies. You have this man throwing all of these so-called threats out here, and nobody knows if he's going to make good on them or not because he lies so much that everybody's just scurrying about trying to figure out what are we going to do. Anyway, I want you all to take a listen at what's going on. This disaster that they're trying to make, and I'm not even covering all of it in this video. There have been those who have already come forward saying that if Trump pulls the trigger on the things that he is saying that he plans to do when he takes office, they are saying that it's literally going to crash the U.S. economy, and it would be in a free for all at that point. Again, he makes all of these threats, and you have these people that are on his team in his cabinet who are saying, "Look, we are here to enforce whatever he says." Right? Especially I believe the borders are that he has chosen. These people are talking some big stuff, right? So anyway, that means that we have some planning and praying to do. And we also have to put our faith and trust in the Most High because He says, while these people plan, He also plans. Anyway, I want you to take a listen at two clips. I have two video clips I want to share with you. That, of course, I will be right back.
Don't buy another pair of glasses until you've seen what this new invention can do.
Oh,
Imagine achieving perfect 20/20.
Now to the Trump transition. Just days after the president-elect threatened to slap a 25% tariff on goods entering the U.S. from Mexico and Canada, Trump is now boasting that Mexico's president has agreed to stop migration through her country and close the Mexican border. She says that's not quite right. Here's CBS's Weijia Jiang.
As the incoming Trump administration prepares for mass deportations of illegal immigrants.
We're a nation of laws, and we're going to enforce the laws. The men and women of ICE, they're going to have a tough job ahead of them. And I'm sending a message where people that say they're going to get in our way, we're going to finish Trump's work.
On social media, President Trump declared the U.S. is getting a big assist from Mexico to secure the border, claiming President Claudia Sheinbaum has agreed to stop migration through Mexico and into the United States, effectively closing our southern border, and that the country would stop people from going there, effective immediately. Sheinbaum disputed that in her own post. We reiterate that Mexico's position is not to close borders, but to build bridges between governments and between peoples.
Buenos dias.
But Sheinbaum said caravans like this one spotted in southern Mexico would be stopped. The two leaders spoke by phone just days after Trump threatened to impose a 25% tariff on all Mexican goods if the country does not stop the flow of drugs and migrants.
I hope he rethinks it. I think it's a counterproductive thing to do.
On Nantucket, where President Biden visited a firehouse as part of his Thanksgiving holiday, he warned against imposing tariffs on North American allies.
We're surrounded by the Pacific Ocean, the Atlantic Ocean, and two allies, Mexico and Canada. The last thing we need to do is begin to screw up those relationships.
Weijia, the FBI has been monitoring these threats that were made against some of the president-elect's cabinet picks, and now we're learning some lawmakers have been threatened too.
That's right, Nancy. CBS News has confirmed that all 5 members of the House from the state of Connecticut, along with Senator Chris Murphy, were all targeted in bomb threats. It's unclear if their cases are linked to the threats against those potential Trump officials. It is notable that all the lawmakers are Democrats. Nancy?
Weijia Jiang in West Palm Beach. Thank you. Okay, so a whole lot of madness is going on in this country right now, and everybody is sitting back trying to make sense of it all, trying to figure out how to navigate through this.
Okay, listen to that last part right there. Let me play it again.
Notable that all the lawmakers are Democrats. Nancy?
Weijia Jiang in West Palm Beach, littering these threats that were made against some of the president-elect's cabinet picks, and now we're learning some lawmakers have been threatened too.
That's right, Nancy. CBS News has confirmed that all 5 members of the House from the state of Connecticut, along with Senator Chris Murphy, were all targeted in bomb threats. It's unclear if their cases are linked to the threats against those potential Trump officials. It is notable that all the lawmakers are Democrats. Nancy?
Ain't that what happened in Germany with the Gestapo? When Hitler came on the scene?
When Hitler started moving in.
Yeah. Before he became the beast that he was, nobody see it. The same thing happened.
Strong arming, that's what it's called, right?
Yeah. Same thing happening. They nobody paid attention to it, but the same thing is happening. Okay.
Weijia Jiang in West Palm Beach. Thank you. Okay, so a whole lot of madness is going on in this country right now, and everybody is sitting back trying to make sense of it all, trying to figure out how to navigate through this. Even Joe Biden is saying that he hopes Trump rethinks this thing. I mean, you got BOMB threats going to Republicans and Democrats. You got people promising that they're going to do things, right? Lay hands on folk, destroy folk. And it's like a crazy pre-battle that we're going through, because it seems like we're going to be entering into something much greater than this. But even with, Joe Biden saying that he hopes that Trump rethinks this thing concerning all of this deportation talk that he's speaking about, a lot of farms will suffer greatly if he goes through with this plan. And if the farms suffer greatly, as they have said, so will the American people. So will the American people, because we are the ones who depend on the food. So it feels like there are a lot of power plays being made for these corporations, but without understanding. And if you can't depend on your president to tell the truth, and you don't know whether he's lying or telling the truth, that's a dangerous thing as well. This is why we don't put our faith or trust in any of these politicians. Take a listen at the second report, and I'll be right back.
I never knew these people exist.
Hey, Mr. Leonard.
Okay.
I just wanted to throw something in there. You was talking about the Hitler part of it.
Okay.
It's kind of crazy because Hitler put the fluoride in the water, and now they got JFK or whatever his name is talking about getting rid of all the fluoride out the water. Ain't that crazy?
Oh yeah. And then that don't when if you've been doing your research and you've been digging and trying to understand and connect scriptures and prophecy and all that, when you heard that, it's gonna ring a bell. But nope, a lot of people don't even know nothing about that. So it just goes over their head. So check this out.
Yes, sir.
I was just saying what they say he doing is what Hitler was doing, right? When was Hitler doing that? Right before the World War, right?
Yes, sir.
So it's right before World War. And like I said before, when you understand how these people operate, they come in with a world war because progress is happening. People starting to wake up, things being built, technology, science, and all that flourishing, which means that the people, it's a different mindset starting to happen because they want to keep everybody, the majority of the people, dumbed down. So what they gonna do? Tear everything down again, right? And then start again. That's what all these world wars about. Tear everything
Yes,
down.
sir.
You know, people's psychology and everything. Tear it all down. Everything. Then in the process of rebuilding it, they becoming more and more rich.
Yes, sir. Instead of that fluoride, like Hitler did, it's the woke movement.
Well, yeah.
Yes, sir. And we know in the last days now it shall increase, but I see how it's getting together. You're getting the fluoride, and then you invent that woke movement at the same time.
Exactly.
What's that? What's that? The Hegelian dialectic you talking about?
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yes,
Exactly.
sir.
Right. They call create a problem. You got something you want to happen, so you create the problem, then the people start crying for it, and the whole time that's what you wanted all along. So you come right in, give them what they want. Just like I said before, what Negro in his right mind uh, came to the conclusion to vote for Trump.
I could say the same. Who would have voted for Kamala?
Right,
See what I'm saying?
right.
So the Negroes who would do what Negroes do is to stay out of all of that shit that ain't got nothing to do with it.
Exactly, right. But see, like I said before, even with that, they were set up. I was talking to somebody a couple of days ago about that. They were set up a long time ago to think that a vote means something. Just like when it's time to leave here, they think that we got some kind of title of this place. We don't have no title of this place. You done already told us that we was going somewhere that we was gonna get punished there. Then he gonna bring us out of there. We ain't got no ties here. I don't give a damn what happened, but we don't have no ties here.
Yes, sir. And the king, he make the kings. Like you said, because America is a king. The president of America is a king because he dictate what the world does.
Right. See,
Yes, sir.
it's crazy how you see what I'm saying. It was Leonard broke down a minute ago, tie this into scripture. Then I'm gonna go and look at Nebuchadnezzar, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna say what's going on, anything different. The crazy shit is the people that's talking, thinking that whatever we are saying as people is a tool we could use to make change.
Exactly.
But the fact is, like a wise man told me, he was like, you think that these people in positions of power do what they do because it's about fear? He was like, they don't care if you scared or not.
Exactly.
They're doing it because that's what they can do.
Exactly.
And I was like, yo, that makes so much sense. So you can have them that say, oh, we need to come together and change. That ain't for us to change. We ain't finna change none of that.
Right, exactly. And then they have no other choice but to do that.
Exactly.
When you understand what he said about Adam, when he says he breathed the breath of life, which is the essence, which is what we always talk about, the melanin and all, he breathed that into Adam. So you can what they did to us with the transatlantic slave trade and all that, what they did to Africa, you can oppress that for a minute, but it's gonna rise, and they see it rising. That's what it's all about. They see it rising.
Right.
A prime example is over there with Tory. Yeah. They see what's happening. Believe me,
and that's
the first place he going. When he get in office, that's where he gonna take.
Yo, there's already videos out there about him dealing with Tory now.
Yeah,
Whether it's meme videos people are making up, because I watch the videos and it's pretty much a bunch of jargon. But if he sees that position that Tory is holding is a threat, then of course we know. So listen to what you was just saying earlier. The moment what they're doing with us right now is to get the people, this populace, to back them. It's the same thing they did with us in 9/11. It's the Hegelian dialectic. Feel me? We ain't had no issues with Saddam and them, but until they made it an issue for us with Saddam and them. And that's the same thing they finna do with Tory if it works out that way. I'm hoping, however it works, but I'm hoping that there's some type of resolve and they're realizing that it's better to trade with them instead of thinking you're gonna strong arm them or debo them in Africa. But it's the
Right.
same tactics. They did the same thing with Gaddafi. They had to turn Gaddafi against Gaddafi. But
Right.
but that was what was going on then. Today, there's too much information for them to use those same tactics again.
Right.
So that's what we would say. That's the Most High working right now.
Right.
So, or the Lord of Hosts. So it can't. It's not going to go down the way they think it's going to go down
Exactly.
again.
Like, and then they not tied. They not tied to scripture and prophecy like we are. And then, like you said, they did the exact same thing to Marcus Garvey.
Yes, sir. They sure did. You
Go
think
back and look at it. They did the exact same thing to him. Only thing is, just like we know what was up with King and Malcolm, and then Malcolm X, that it wasn't time. It wasn't time. It wasn't prophecy. Like he said, the prophecy, it wasn't time for it to come to pass. But that element, and that he took Noah and raised him up. He took Abraham and raised him up. Moses, he took one man and shut everything down. So it wasn't time. But Marcus Garvey had came, and the whole everybody, the Boule Negroes, they all went against him. And they used that propaganda machine. They used that propaganda machine and shut him down, turn him into a villain.
Yeah, because they always say that it's going to be somebody. It's going to be a seed coming out of David, and they always watching for that seed.
The Black
Which is
Messiah.
the same thing they trying to do
Yes,
now.
sir. Yep.
Right.
Check out how that. But this that's the problem. This brother ain't under the auspices of this continent.
Right.
So
he
that's
ain't
where
operating the system.
Right. So that's where, and he got support from people you may potentially have issues with tomorrow, for all we know.
Right. So another while we talking about that, so another thing too. Okay, I've been dealing with. I'm working on it right now. I'm just dealing with bits and pieces of it, but I'm gonna do a whole like maybe 3 parts on it. Genesis 15. They say that 400 years is over here, but when you go back and break it out down, it's not. So the whole thing is, you go back to the Tower of Babel when he divided the earth up. He divided the earth up among the angels, right?
Right.
70 angels. Michael, Lord of hosts, got Zion, right? Did Michael get Zion?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He did.
So that's where we at our finest in that region over there. That's where our God is. Ain't that what Tory at? Big ass difference than over here.
Yep. Just like Russia was saying back then that he got a strong man over him. He's consulting with his strong man.
Right.
So we know who the strong man is.
Right. He had to go to Egypt and get our forefathers out of Egypt and bring them back to the land. He had to come and get us. He got to come get us from over here and bring us back there. Tory already there. They already that's Negro land. That's Negro land.
Right.
Come on.
So there's a whole another energy dealing with that, brother.
Right. Whole other energy.
You feel me? That's what I'm saying. We listening to folk over here. That's what I'm saying. We listening to folk over here talking about, oh, look at what they doing. I'm asking the question, what do you expect them to do?
Exactly.
What do you expect this creature to do? Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like, do y'all really think this creature is ever gonna deal with us as if we equal? Do y'all really think that that's so we're arguing on what we deserve from this creature?
Exactly.
Really?
And
that's what we're doing?
Right.
Martin Luther King got stabbed by an elderly woman. Then he got shot on the balcony. But then we watching this man getting assassinated weekly. I don't know, but I'm just saying, it seems like he's being protected, and by Russia and everybody else coming in. And it seems like they are trying to fulfill their part of that revelations by bringing everybody to that place to die.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? That's where I see it.
So read the Psalms. What is David saying here? The same thing happening now. What they've been doing to the leaders over in Africa is just more and more. It's more personified now because a lot of us awaken. But that's what they were trying to do to David. They were trying to kill David. That's why the Psalms all about. It was coming trying to kill him. And we know did they kill him? No.
No, sir.
No.
No, sir.
That's what the Psalms all about when you read it. He comes telling them they're coming against him. Even when he died, those wicked ass spirits from those giants tried to drag him down into hell. He had to cry to the Lord of hosts to come get him from that. And he said he thundered from heaven and got him, his soul, and brought it up. But the whole time he was here, the Philistines, all these people around him, they were trying to kill him. Look what Saul did. That ain't nothing new under the sun.
And that's true because, like I said, every day they've been trying to knock this man off.
Yeah,
and every day that they don't knock him off, another president in that country want to get with him. They're just piling it up until he take all of Africa.
That's why they're trying to knock him out, because they see what's happening. They see actually what we're looking at is, like I said, I keep on pointing to it, is Isaiah 60. He told us, those that have ears to hear and eyes to see, when you see, rise and shine, for the Lord, the Lord of hosts have risen over thee. That's what we're looking at. Why he ain't dead? Because any other time,
right? Yeah, they would have been killed to that. I watched the video, not for the sake of the video, but for the sake of the comments, and there was people in the comments that was saying, now we don't just want him as president over Burkina Faso, we want him ruling over the whole continent,
right? Over Africa.
That's what they saying about him.
Right. And like I said before,
over the whole continent, not just that.
Right? Ain't that what we read in Joshua and King James and Jubilees? Ain't that what he did to Joseph?
Yes, sir. He preserved him.
Started out as a nut bucket.
Made him rule.
Right.
Made him rule over everything.
The people told the Pharaoh they wanted him. That's what Joseph told him. Find a man that's just, Then they said, we see the spirit of the gods in you. We want you to do it. Ain't no different than that. What they doing with Tory, and they trying to cut it off.
Right.
Right.
And it's crazy. It's crazy how Joseph came to power, and then guess who tried to take that power from him? We never can forget about that. But I understand the concept.
Right. And then
I mean,
go ahead. Go ahead. I was trying to
No, I mean, I'll bring it back. So that's the whole concept of what it is that we've been looking towards. But like we talking earlier, the foolishness that's going on in the land that we in,
right?
It's going to remove us from understanding what's taking place over there. You see what I'm saying? And to me, I tie that whole thing in with Christianity. It's all connected.
Oh yeah.
So. I'm stressing, the fear that's on people. God said the beginning of knowledge is fear. Fear of who? Fear him, not fear of what these people are telling you they finna do.
Right.
So if you're confused with thinking that, you see what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna hit y'all with something right quick. This is the illest shit, right? You got us that are Hebrew Christians. And you got us that are Torah and Tanakh based Lord of Hosts.
Right.
I'm listening to a lot of them right now because this is what I'm saying. This is such an interesting time to be in. They talking about prophecy.
Exactly.
Right?
Right.
We talking about prophecy.
Exactly.
But our prophecy ain't lining up.
Exactly.
You feel me?
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all been feeling that lately.
Oh yeah. They mute me. They mute me. I got about three damn lines. They mute me. Because as soon as I get on there and get to breaking shit down, then people start asking them who I am, then they mute me. So that right there tell you what time it is.
And it's the calm
See what
before
I'm
the
saying?
storm right now. It's the
Oh yeah,
calm
Right.
before the storm. Because it's time to
That's
shuffle those
now
cards. It's time to
that
shuffle
day.
those
That's what I'm
cards.
saying. Time to shuffle those damn cards because now we finna find out what it is from what it ain't. You see?
exactly.
So
Right.
we got our people over here, them Christians that's saying, this is what Jesus said.
Exactly.
But it's like, whoa. Well, where'd Jesus get it from?
Exactly.
That's what I'm gonna say to you. Well, where'd Jesus get it from? You
Exactly.
see? So now where you gotta go? You gotta go to the Torah. And then I gotta deal with the confusion that they say, well, the Torah was talking about him. And then hits a point where it was like, you know what? I can't talk no more. It's because y'all built this shit on a fear that them
Right.
Protestant Alexandrians
Right.
have created, but it ain't got shit to do with thus saith the Lord over here. So, it's like, all right, I can't listen to y'all no more, man.
Right.
And it
And
shouldn't be fear, right? Because JC put all that on the cross for him. So where the fear is at?
right.
You good.
Right. And then you gotta look at how they were primed. So it's the only reason that we did separate ourselves from it is because the Lord of hosts separated us from it. But you got to go back and look at how it came to how do they have the ear of the masses of the people. You go back to like this country, back doing in the West. Remember in the West, all of the Western movies you watch, here come the white man, he the medicine man, right? And
Yes,
he
sir.
Right.
Yes, sir.
He a preacher. He got the little thing on he got the little suit with the thing around his neck. He a medicine man. He can heal. He got the stuff to heal you, and he got the word of God. White man. So that's what that is today. Negro fit that script. He can't have the word of God. Go back to
No, he can't.
Yeah, he ain't got it.
Because what is he, Ham? Because Ham was cursed.
Right.
That's the Negroes.
Right.
According to them,
exactly.
We're cursed. We don't have it. We supposed to stay down and shut up.
Oh yeah, you got then you come on down to Billy Graham and Sturgeon and all these
Paleface.
So yeah, paleface. So the word and understanding the word is personified on them. Ain't no way in hell Negro got it. He don't have it. You know what I'm saying? And that's where that's coming from. And then we know that everything written in red, the Edomite wrote it.
And that's crazy because we was talking about the Sabbath one time, and it seemed like people didn't really want to understand the Sabbath and everything. And then when they hear the hillbillies say the Sabbath is this time, then people get on one accord, right?
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
And
that's how
now
it
they in
always
awe.
works.
Yes, sir. You get the hillbilly to say it,
works.
then you good.
Yeah, that's how it always gonna work, man. Because like you say, that is the true definition of zaddy.
Right. Exactly. Right.
That's the definition is what zaddy means. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right. You could talk that truth. I don't want to hear it from you.
Exactly. Right. They looking at it, it's the most high tingle their ears and tingle their eyes. They looking at it, but they ain't trying to hear it because of where it's coming from.
Because of where it's coming from, how it's being spoken. That's why I always would say that I had an argument before. I told a person, they was like, oh, you use profanity. I said, my profanity ain't never stopped you from getting money. My profanity ain't never subjugated anybody in the hood.
Right.
My profanity doesn't change laws, but yet the ones that do talk to you very smoothly, don't they?
Right.
And them the ones you really mad at because they're the ones that's causing onions to now cost 90-something cents when they used to cost 30. Not my cussing.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So it's like that's the type of people I gotta get on to understanding what's really going on.
Right.
A lot of folk don't realize how boule they are.
Exactly right, and that's another thing too. We got people that the Creator Yahweh and the Lord host dealing with. He waking them up, and then you realize that I ain't got to impress these Europeans, right? But also, you ain't got to impress these boule ass niggas either.
Yes, sir.
Come on. You ain't got to impress them. You got to put them in the same boat with them and give them some roller skates.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to know who they are, just wait for election days or when it's time to vote on something or when they want you to do something. That's how you can figure out who they are.
Thank you.
Exactly.
That's how you going, because they still thinking that I'm a vote to put this person in office and they gonna make my life better.
Right. Get out to vote. Exactly.
Vote or die. Puff Daddy, vote or die. Where Puff Daddy at?
Not the diddler.
Come on.
You see, you feel me? That's what I'm saying. Like when people realize what's really, they won't realize. But anyway, yeah, I gotta stop saying shit like that when people realize they not finna realize nothing.
Right. Exactly. Ain't there something? Oh yeah. So yeah, we'll open it up for some Q&A. Anybody have any questions, comments about anything they heard on the line they want to talk about? Before we go into we'll be talking about mass deportation. I got some couple videos on that, so we're gonna chop that up. Anybody got anything they wanted to talk about, like there's something they saw or whatever, or they heard?
I'm just a quick question. I've been listening to all the, like Scott Ritter and all of them talking about these ICBMs that Russia got, and then what they used in Ukraine, and to tie that in with Russia pretty much flexing and saying, "Look, I don't want the smoke, but I'm gonna show you why you don't really want it." You know what I'm saying? I know what I can do. I'm showing you what I can do, but I'm trying to give y'all an out. So if anybody wants to understand what the definition of arrogance and ignorance is, then America is the prime example of it, because America is not saying, let me adhere to this woe that is taking place. Because Kels, you brought out something about a while ago about where America's silos is at, right? North Dakota, Wyoming, and Montana.
Right.
So Russia was pretty much saying, I could put ICBMs right there in a matter of 30 minutes, and y'all can't stop it and completely shut it down. But if people want to understand the arrogance of the country that you're living in, then you would see that there's no humility in this country in saying, well, under this administration, I'll give that to anybody who wants to operate with that understanding. Oh, it's this administration. Trump ain't gonna be any different. I'm sorry. But the realization that Russia is pretty much saying, y'all can't do nothing. Now, the information that I've been reading up on was that the United States did tests back in 2021, I believe, and of their nuclear or their ICBMs, and all of them, they wasn't successful. And one of them they had to abort back in 2021 because of some strange reason or another. So what I'm saying to anybody who has any level of confidence in believing that this country is what it's always been propagating towards us that it is, the reality is that this country is not as strong as you think it is. It's not even anywhere close.
The thing about that, Mike, I love that you said that, because that's part of let my people go. We watching it. Let my people go. And they keep refusing.
Right. They keep refusing.
Right, he
So,
disabling.
say again, Leonard.
He disabling them.
It's disabled. That's what I'm saying. You could go on Google right now, anybody listening, and find out the last time that they was testing their nuclear arsenal and see how often they failed. This country failed.
Right.
So
Right.
now you have Trump coming in talking about it's about time we build an Iron Dome for America. My
Right.
man, really? How long do you think it took them to build the Iron Dome for Israel? Matter of fact, how much billions of dollars did America send to Israel to build the Iron Dome? And
Exactly.
how do you Iron Dome this big wide hip girl?
Right. And then in recent scenarios, they didn't disprove the damn Iron Dome.
We seen that.
Right.
We seen that. Right.
It was a lot of hoopla.
Not
Yep.
only that, but they was on the news talking about Russia got all of these nukes because Russia is like #1 in the nukes, and they said that their nukes wasn't working. They
Right.
just showed them that all of their nukes is still working.
Oh yeah, exactly. Right.
No,
That's crazy.
what that thing that they used wasn't nuclear. The thing that they used
No,
was
it wasn't nuclear. I'm saying, can they use it? All of the nukes that they have, they saying
yeah.
that it's like they had it for so long, it's not working. Like they wasn't maintaining it.
Well, yeah, they can. The thing about that is what they used is they can put a nuclear warhead on it.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. They trying to say Russia got, because it's a big number. If you look at all the nukes around the world, Russia has more than the United States, but they saying they can't use half of them, which they, from what I seen, they showed that all of them's operational.
Right. They trying to discredit.
That's all they can do is try to discredit discredit what they have. But what Russia did with this it's not even an ICBM. It's some other type of missile that they use. So I guess what it was I guess a cat back in the 70s, Leonard.
Yeah.
I gotta look up more. I got it in the back of my head, but right now it's not coming. He thought in his mind, he was like, yo, to use nuclear weapons is relevant because you go Putin just said it in one of his statements.
Gorbachev?
No. This is
Okay.
it was a scientist. It was a scientist who had invented this missile system that they had just used, the Orishnikov or whatever they call it, because that man said the use of nuclear weapons is a waste because if we use them, the land is a wasteland. It makes no sense. So what Putin just did was it was based off of that man's scientific theory that they could use a weapon that could crash down on the land and have the force and power of what a nuclear bomb could do without nuking the territory.
Right.
So now this is what got everybody in an uproar right now because he literally just used this device. Exactly. And it could create just as much damage as a nuclear weapon without poisoning the land.
Right.
So now he is pretty much telling everybody, I still got my nukes on deck if that's where we want to go. But look at what I just showed you, what I have.
Because Ukraine is definitely got a lot of minerals. They got a lot of things, like they said. Ukraine, a lot of all that stuff. So you don't want to mess that place up.
Exactly.
Yes,
so
you don't want to mess that place up.
Look at the technology he is saying we could put on the ground. You know what I'm saying? Right. So I'm telling you, I can go nuclear if that's what y'all want to do. Right? Or y'all could see what I have. And y'all could say, all right, maybe we need to just leave him alone and let him do whatever he's doing in Ukraine, which is all he's been saying from day one.
Exactly.
Just
Well,
let
Mike,
me.
what would you do, Mike? I want to ask you a question. You and your brother fighting, and then I jumping in and pick sides. It ain't none of my business,
Pretty much.
right?
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
what's going on, and that's
That's what's
that
going on.
division that's going
Right.
on.
That's
All
what's
praise
going
the
on.
Most High. Yes,
And
sir.
now I'm gonna sit there and look and say, all right, you got nukes, I got nukes. Yeah, we could go nuke for nuke, right? Dukes for dukes. We could duke it out. But then you come out with some Floyd Mayweather and you hitting just as hard, right? But it's not nuclear. So who would be more righteous if you think about it? If I created something that will beat the living hell out of you, but it's not gonna kill you,
Right.
versus me
So,
using a gun,
right.
right? And I'm gonna end your life. Who is more righteous in that situation?
It's not going to destroy civilization.
I'm not gonna destroy civilization, but I'm gonna beat the hell out your ass.
Exactly.
Who would be looked at? And this is what he did. He showed that,
Right.
yo, I got something y'all can't stop. First and foremost, you can't stop it. Ain't nothing you got that could do anything with it other than some nukes. But then again, guess what? I still got nukes for you. Like
Right.
Markel just said, I got most nukes. I got 1,000 more nukes than America. I got probably 500 more than China, but China rocking with me. So, like, sometimes you got to just tip over your king and say checkmate on yourself, because that's where you are right now.
And
But we know
That's
that's
where
they,
you are right now.
exactly
we
that's
know they ain't going to
exactly
do that.
where we at.
We know they ain't going to do that because that's what got the Pharaoh in trouble.
Yep.
He ain't going to do that.
And
He ain't going to do that.
Mr. Leonard, you always say put them hooks in them.
Yeah.
Hooks
That,
got to get
that
in
pride,
them.
that pride and arrogance is what's going. They're not going to cut it off. They're going to keep on pushing and pushing till they get wiped out. That's all the thing they understand. They get wiped out. And
Because
that very thing that you're talking about, everybody has totally forgot about it, is that Poseidon, that submarine.
Right.
They can't find it. That's what it got the capabilities doing. It ain't gonna destroy things like the nuclear weapon, but it's gonna do the same damage.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Leonard,
That's what's
when
coming in.
you bring that Poseidon thing out on, do you remember when you brought it out?
The show.
No, yeah.
no,
How long
it
ago? How
was a
long ago
while ago. It
you
was
was talking
about
about Poseidon?
6 months. About 6 months.
About 6 or so months, right?
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's reports now that Poseidon was over here in like 2016
Yeah,
and
sitting at the bottom of the ocean.
sitting at the bottom of the ocean, and people seen this damn thing. But this
Okay.
country, like we say about the pride and arrogance, was
Right.
never something that they felt that. So Russia been chilling over here.
Yeah.
They've been chilling over here,
Right. Right.
sitting in place. But
Right.
they, nah, that wasn't what it is. And
Right.
you get the media get to talking, and we're like, oh, okay, and we go
Right.
right back to business as usual.
Right.
They was
And,
here with the Cuban and Russia crisis.
right.
That's where it's been ever since then. How Russia gonna go to Cuba and throw missiles on it?
Right.
Come on, man.
And then you got to tie that too. I mean, I don't think nobody else is doing it, but they always talk about these. They talk about UFOs, but then you hear them talking about USOs, unidentified submerged objects. See what I'm
Yes,
saying?
sir. Coming from the
Yeah.
water. That's what they screaming now. But we
Right.
know where Albert Pike and Aleister Crowley, the 3 world wars, we already know they say you gotta let the annihilists out, the aliens, everything got to come out right
Right.
now
No.
because knowledge is increasing. And these are fallen angels
Right.
because we watch it. Yep.
Right. So who invented the submarine? Who
The fallen angels came down and gave them knowledge
No, I'm
on
talking
how
about.
to build all that stuff.
Remember Germany in the First World War? I think it was the First World War, Second World
Yeah.
War. It was the First
First, I
World War.
believe, First World War.
When the Germans winning with the sub?
Yeah, that was their
Yes,
introduction.
sir.
That's when they had all them scientific minds
Right. So you think
creating. So during that First World War, they was creating it and figuring it out. By the Second World War, they
right.
done mastered it.
Right. So
Yep.
look at the cell phone. Just
Right.
look at iPhone. What they on iPhone? What 17?
Right.
You think that sub ain't advanced?
Exactly.
Come on.
Exactly.
And you
know.
didn't think when Russia had collapsed at that
Right.
time, we got all the Russian scientists to come over here to give us all our needs?
And
Yes,
that's what I'm
sir.
saying. But now we is ill. We talking about this the way we talking about it, but in our minds, or mixing the iron and the clay.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The way we could look at it,
Exactly.
like Markel said, where this information really comes from. So we know that this battle or this situation that's taking place is way deeper. But versus the Christian who think they understand what prophecy is, or the lame person who just thinks it's a football game between the Chicago Bears and Detroit Lions. It's a whole lot deeper than you can. So when we talk about fear and who you supposed to be choosing, it's very difficult for me to be like, I need to talk to them to act as if I could free their understanding to free their soul. It's that's what I'm saying. Like, yo, the way the Lord of hosts figured out how to divide us today, yo, it is so genius, man.
Right, exactly.
It is so genius.
And that's what
he is doing with us today.
That's where the drum. That's where where they're gonna fall at, because they actually believe they already know, because they keep up with their history and everything that they done. They already know they disannul the Most High. They know they disannul the Lord of Hosts, but they actually believe he of none effect today. They think he of none effect. They think they going on as if we got rid of him in the scriptures. He ain't he ain't nothing no more.
Because all of those generations that went on and on and on and on. And who's going to bring us down?
Right.
The arrogance.
Exactly. They didn't fell off in the trap of their own trap, believing that he nullified. Because we created the New Testament, and he not in the scriptures no more. But we like I said, we looking at scripture and we see that what the scriptures they gave us ain't lining up to this with what we see happening.
Because we the nut buckets, Mr. Leonard.
Exactly.
We're the nut buckets.
Is there something? And that's the crazy part about it. Like I said, he said that I spoke it, and I'm gonna perform it. I'm gonna bring it to pass. So they ain't stopping there. And that's what we're looking at. I mean, if you can't see that there's something seriously going on over there in Niger and Burkina Faso and Mali, there's something wrong with you.
Right.
Yeah, we're the nut buckets. We stupid. Yes, sir.
Oh yeah.
And you can't see and hold up. France now let's make it let's take the little spiritual shit out of it for a second. And now let's make it what they say, layman for people.
Right.
All right. If you think it's supposed to be spiritual, then pay attention to why France is losing control. Pay attention to why Britain is losing control of it. Why? Because the people that was normally instituted, if you pay attention to history, America is the military force of their system. Right? Rome is the spiritual and Britain was the financial. So this is how God is going to deal with it. So now he's going to remove that military force.
Right.
So America cannot just run rampant anymore. Right? This is the Caymans. You
Don't
can't run
forget
rampant.
about Canada. Don't
Oh
forget
yeah.
about
Oh no.
Canada. They
She's
done.
still there. She been done because look at the turmoil that's going on right now with America, right? So now your Roman institution, they have no effect. And then the monetary situation, we look at what's going on with the monarch, or what she was is no longer instituted and in place, and there's so much turmoil going on in their system. If you pay attention to what Prince William was talking about 2 years ago, that dealing with his Merkela, his wife, he says,
Yeah.
yo, I'm paying attention to what they try to do to my mother, they trying to do to my wife. So I said, oh shit. So this kid knows what that
Right.
whole system was. So I don't know if you remember, so ignorantly I said, a little bit ago, I said, why is it that for some strange reason these young people always seem to be able to follow, their lineages for all these years? Well, he just made me put my foot in my mouth by coming out with what he said, but no, they had to hurry up and hush that up. You see what I'm saying? So the reason why it's taking place is God is clipping everything that was hedged around them in order for them to come at Africa the way they was.
Exactly.
And he's no longer allowing that because we in the time we in right now. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, it's kind of ironic that you brought that up because this is my video I got. My next video is about previous videos I had about Denver Airport, the red-headed kid standing on the square. I was saying
Right. That was
that was Harry.
Bank of America. Shit.
Yeah, it's Harry.
Harry. That's his name, Harry.
Yeah, check this out. Okay, let me get it. It's crazy right here.
It's uncanny. For a long time, I just refused to accept that she was gone. Part of, she would never do this to us, but also part of maybe this is all part of the plan.
Just when we thought the royal drama had reached its peak, Prince Harry drops a bombshell that has the palace walls shaking. The son of the beloved Princess Diana is finally speaking out, and what he's revealing about King Charles will make your jaw drop. A mysterious letter, a tragic accident, and a web of secrets that's been hiding in plain sight for decades. Buckle up, royal watchers. This story is about to blow the crown right off the monarchy, the man behind the secrets. Picture this, November 14th, 1948. The halls of Buckingham Palace are buzzing with excitement as a tiny heir to the British throne makes his grand entrance into
Did you hear that? 1948.
the world. Charles
That's when the Jews moved in.
Right.
The weight of a kingdom on his tiny shoulders. But don't let the glamour fool you. Being born into the world's most famous family isn't all tiaras and tea parties. Rather, for Charles, it turned out to be a world filled with shocking secrets. Secrets that his and Diana's son will finally reveal decades later. Little Charles grew up in a world where every move was watched, every decision scrutinized. His parents, Queen Elizabeth II and Prince Philip, weren't exactly the warm and fuzzy type. While other kids were getting bedtime stories, young Charles was getting lessons in royal protocol. Talk about a childhood, right? The palace walls may have been gilded, but they were also pretty lonely for a little prince trying to find his way. When it came to education, the royals didn't mess around. At age 8, Charles was shipped off to Cheam School, where he learned the 3 R's: reading, writing, and royal responsibility. But the real character building came at Gordonstoun in Scotland. Imagine swapping your cozy palace bed for cold showers and cross-country runs in the Scottish Highlands. This wasn't your average prep school. It was more like a royal boot camp. Charles later described it as colditz and kilts, though some say this tough love approach shaped him into the man he'd become. But here's where things get interesting. At 22, then Prince decided to shake things up by joining the Royal Navy. Now, this wasn't just some cushy ceremonial role. Charles was out there on HMS Minerva, learning the ropes, quite literally, and living the sailor's life. He even qualified as a helicopter pilot, not bad for a guy who grew up with servants tying his shoelaces. This military stint showed a different side of Charles, one that wasn't afraid to get his hands dirty. But was he really as noble as he seemed? The answer might surprise you. In 1976, Charles did something that actually made people sit up and take notice. He founded the Prince's Trust. This wasn't just another charity with a royal rubber stamp. Charles was genuinely passionate about helping young people who didn't have his privileges. The trust became a real game changer, helping thousands of disadvantaged youth get their lives on track. It seemed our prince had found his calling, when he wasn't busy with his other passions, that is. You see, Charles wasn't your typical royal. While other nobles were hunting foxes, he was hunting for ways to save historic buildings and ranting about modern architecture. He talked to plants, yes, really, championed organic farming before it was cool, and wasn't afraid to speak his mind even when it ruffled some very important feathers. The media had a field day with his eccentric interests, painting him as everything from a visionary to a royal oddball. But perhaps the biggest challenge facing young Charles wasn't the criticism or the cold showers. It was the pressure to find a bride. As he entered his 30s, still single, the whispers grew louder. The palace wanted an heir to the heir, and the public was hungry for a royal romance. Charles dated his way through British high society, including, ironically, Lady Sarah Spencer. But finding true love when you're the future king, that's complicated. And as we now know, it would lead to one of the biggest royal scandals in history. Diana's background. On July 1st, 1961, the Spencer family welcomed a baby girl who would change the course of royal history forever. But don't be fooled by the fairy tale beginnings. Diana's childhood was far from perfect, even with its aristocratic trappings. Sure, she grew up in Park House on the Queen's Sandringham estate, but those grand halls echoed with family drama that would leave lasting scars on the future people's princess. Picture this: young Diana, just 7 years old.
Watch this before trying the keto diet. People try to eat a low-carb diet, but they...
You're going somewhere. Okay.
Divorce that followed was like a bomb going off in her childhood. Her father, John Spencer, was about as emotionally available as a marble statue, more focused on running the family estate than nurturing his children. And when he married Rain, Countess of Dartmouth, let's just say Diana and her siblings didn't exactly roll out the welcome mat. They nicknamed their new stepmother Acid Rain. And trust us, it wasn't because of her sunny disposition. But adversity has a way of shaping diamonds, doesn't it? Despite the family drama, Diana's natural warmth and empathy began to shine through. At school, first at Riddlesworth Hall, then at West Heath, she wasn't exactly setting academic records. But while she might not have been a straight A student, she was earning gold stars in compassion. Teachers couldn't help but notice how this young girl would always be the first to comfort a crying classmate or help someone in need. Little did they know they were watching the making of the people's princess. As Diana blossomed into her teens, she started turning heads in London's high society. But here's the thing. While other debutantes were obsessing over their next party outfit, Diana was rolling up her sleeves and getting to work. At 19, she was living in a London flat with friends, working as a kindergarten teacher at the Young England School. Can you imagine? A future princess changing diapers and wiping runny noses. But that was Diana. Down to earth, real, and more interested in making a difference than making an entrance. Of course, being young and beautiful in aristocratic circles meant Diana had her share of admirers. She'd had the usual teenage romances, but nothing too serious. What she was really looking for was something genuine in a world that often felt anything but. Diana had this almost magical ability to connect with people, to make everyone feel special. It was like she had this inner light that drew people to her, a light that would eventually catch the eye of a certain prince. A gift from guess who? Camilla. And the design? 2 intertwined C's. You can't make this stuff up, folks. But it wasn't just jewelry causing trouble in paradise. Charles and Diana were like 2 actors in different plays, trying to share the same stage. While Diana was winning hearts with her warm hugs and genuine emotional connection with the public,
Hey,
Charles seized
Mr. Leonard.
traditional ways. The contrast couldn't have.
What you got?
It was Camilla. Camilla, you hear that? Did you not hear that?
Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
that's his wife now, Camilla.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking
That's
about.
Prince Charles' wife now.
Yeah. Yes,
Okay.
sir. So how they coming out? Get
Okay.
your Harris out the game.
Get to the bottom of it. Check it out. Here you go.
Being, Elizabeth said of her former daughter-in-law. But for many, it was too little, too late.
Harry
The royals'
telling the
initial
story.
silence had spoken volumes. Diana's funeral was watched by 2.5 billion people worldwide. The image of Diana's two sons, young William and Harry, walking behind their mother's coffin.
Hey,
heads
Mr. Leonard,
by their
I'm
side
sorry to do this again.
in our collective memory.
What's that?
But even
I
if the world
apologize. This has hit me. You got Camilla, and then you got, what's his name? Harry? Camilla Harry?
Okay.
Oh my God.
Camilla Harris. Okay. Ain't that something?
the whispers of conspiracy grew louder. Why was the tunnel's security camera mysteriously broken that night? What about Diana's cryptic note suggesting she feared for her safety? And those final words she allegedly spoke to the emergency responders. What did they mean? As the years have passed, the questions haven't gone away. They've only grown stronger, fueled by those who believe that Diana's tragic end was more than just a terrible accident. One thing's for certain. The circumstances surrounding Diana's death remain as controversial today as they were on that tragic night in Paris. And as we're about to discover, her own son might just hold the key to unlocking some of its darkest secrets, the revelations. Just when we thought the royal drama couldn't get any more explosive, Prince Harry has stepped into the spotlight with bombshells that make previous scandals look like tea-time gossip. Yes, Princess Diana's son finally reveals shocking secrets about King Charles. The boy who once walked
the redhead
is now a man determined to uncover the truth.
This
what
was
he's
yesterday
revealing about his father is sending shockwaves through the monarchy. Charles may be responsible for Lady Di's tragic death. Harry even said, "This is terrible. My father could actually be responsible that we lost our mother." But if you think this is interesting, just listen. According to sources close to the palace, even his brother seems to be secretly sharing Harry's thoughts. Maybe this is why, in recent years, you could see how William and Charles's relationship is drifting into strain, slowly but surely. Now let's talk about that note. You know, the one Diana wrote.
Your competitors would wish they had known about Vi.
For her safety. But this wasn't just any old worry. Diana specifically mentioned concerns about a potential car accident. And who did she think might be behind such a plot? None other than her ex-husband, Prince Charles himself. It sounds like something out of a thriller novel, doesn't it? Except this was real life, and the stakes couldn't have been higher. It's no wonder brothers are feeling worried about everything that's been going on. In a shocking twist, Harry has been vocal about challenging the official investigation's conclusions. While the authorities pointed fingers at a drunk driver and aggressive paparazzi, Harry's not buying it. But here is where it gets really interesting. According to Harry, even William had his doubts about the case. But now, Harry's demanding answers about why the security camera in the tunnel was conveniently out of order that night. Coincidence? Harry doesn't seem to think so, and neither do
Hey, Mr. Leonard, coincidence or not? Did we not, excuse me,
Stevens had a little chat
did
with
we
Charles.
not, Mr. Leonard?
Picture this,
Did we,
future king.
Okay.
Did we not just see that a Rothschild house just burnt on fire? Anybody gonna talk about that?
Okay.
A Rothschild's house just burnt on fire, and they died in it, and all their cars burnt to a crisp.
Okay.
Anybody heard of that?
No, I ain't heard of
in
that.
California.
What?
Shalom,
Google it.
I did hear about that. Yeah, burned up
Yes,
in the ground.
sir.
Yeah.
It's a Rothschild.
Okay.
Didn't they just die?
Right.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, he was like 89 years old. He lived like a recluse. They said when they went in there, everything that he had, it looked like he was a hoarder or something like that. Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
But it was a Rothschild. There you go.
You think it's
Yeah, it
They
was
exterminating.
Rothschild.
Yes,
right?
sir. It's a Rothschild.
Right, because they coming out. They threatening to come out. It's like right here. You think this is a coincidence that Harry is in 2024 that he coming out with all this against his own daddy? Okay, like
And
I
they
said,
killing off all of the rest of the people. They got to knock him off
right,
because he's standing in Dallas Airport or one of them airports as the redhead. If we like to talk about it, let's just see.
we did something.
Hey, yes, sir.
We did something. Right, yeah. So like I said before, when you understand what's really going on with this situation, they have a scenario that they created a New Testament for the end times, and then you actually have the actual end times. And so, like I said, when you go back to Apple Pike and all that, that's what they actually bring it about as we go. For example, I don't know if anybody, I didn't talk about it, but I don't know if anybody really focused on it. Do you know what's going on in Israel, in the skies in Israel? JC and the angels all over the place. They're using blue beam all over
Yeah.
Israel right now as we speak.
Yeah.
There's clouds. I seen
Yeah.
that. A
Right.
man walking
Yeah.
on a cloud.
Jesus,
And all
They use
yes.
yeah, they're on they're on a
they
whole
using
other
that.
vibration. They're on a whole other vibration than what we are over here. They actually think we dead, we
Yeah.
right there because of what they're doing with blue beam.
They have drones now. They're using drones over there now. Um, to make it look like alien invasions.
Right. Using
Yeah,
apparatus.
they do, and they're using the blue beam
Right.
to give. Right. Yeah, they're doing a lot of that.
Right.
Hey, but it's crazy because hey, when we came out of captivity and went into our 40 years captivity, we had to run around and then we had to go over. I sent the spokesman over to see. They said these mother was grasshoppers. Grasshoppers. We grasshoppers to them. That's what they want now because they don't want to let us go. All praise the Most High. We watching
No.
nothing new under the sun. They want to
Right.
keep us here.
Right.
Facts.
Right. The
But
same spirit that was
if
on Pharaoh.
if go ahead, Lemon.
No, I'm saying the same spirit that was on Pharaoh on these people.
That's a fact.
You're not gonna let us go.
Because hey, let us go. We leaving. You say, okay, go. And it's fire in the hole. I can't let
But
y'all go because y'all benefit me. And same
if
thing
we
with
was to,
Donald Trump. What do you think Donald Trump talking about? I'm not letting y'all go. Donald Trump is wicked as fuck. He ain't letting us go because he wants to make this place great again.
Right.
All praise.
Let me find this video. I keep hearing that, but let me find this video.
nah,
Go ahead. What you got, Mike?
I'm still trying to keep my foot on the neck of the redhead.
Right.
You know? So what the man was saying was interesting that, them little babies, Williams and Harry, they didn't live, ordinary lives. And you better believe the Bible, right, was something. That's what I'm saying more about the Bible to us, right?
Right.
Right? The Bible to us is optional. You see what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
They had to wake up every day and study this book. You see what I'm saying? Wasn't an option.
Right.
Nah, this is what you studying every day.
Right.
You feel me? So remember now, she, the Queen Elizabeth, supposedly sat on the throne of David, correct?
Yeah, right. Exactly.
So
So
they
you better
say.
believe.
So they say,
So
yes.
I'm not. That's not the topic. The topic is even if you say you doing something, you have to emulate yourself as such to the best of your abilities, because your image and what you promote is what's most important, right? So that's what Esau did. If we looked at what was going on with Herod, right? So
Right.
you have to promote yourself to the best of your abilities, and the best way you could promote yourself, whether it's fraudulent or not, is to study the
Right.
original, right? Am I right?
Right.
So
And
if
she's
we
not who
listening
you
to this
say she
kid,
is.
it doesn't matter.
I get it.
I'm not saying she's anything. I don't
Exactly.
care what she says she is. The fact is, I know she was studying, and it passed down through the lines. This is just what they have to do to maintain authority and power. You see what I'm
Right.
saying? So if you listen to what they talking about, then and what he's saying about everything that's going on, it's like, well, the most interesting relationship scenario according to our culture would definitely be between Ammon and Tamar, right?
But the thing about it, Mike,
Which
is they don't
is
even care about none of that. What they cared about is, I need the black vote. The reason why I need the black vote, because I know who these people are, and they're gonna set a king over them. You know, they can do whatever they want to do. It's all about us. All praise the Most High. It's about what we do, because we in these last
right,
days, it's about what we do. If we give unto them, then we fucked. Excuse my French. All praise the Most High. They going off of what we do. That's why they want the black votes. Get the black. Why they only why it's always black and white? Why it's always black? Why every person want to get these people to stand over us? It's about us. Pharaoh. It's about us crying out. Facts. All praise.
Okay.
That's the only way they're able to make it happen. Because if we consume, if we say yes, we good with this, they don't have no problem. But we go to our Redeemer and leave this society alone, then all praises the Most High. You gonna cry out now, or you gonna cry out later? That's the key to it. They got to have us. Why they want to talk about the black man? Why is it the black man? Why is it the black votes? Why is it always us at the end of the day? It ain't Hispanics. It's not nobody else but us. Am I correct? If I'm lying, I'm flying.
Okay.
right, right.
Trying to find this video, man. I played. I think I came across it yesterday. It was explaining that the people that Trump put in his cabinet. When you look at it, you'll see that these are the people that, like I said before, when you read the New Testament and everything you see that's written in red, these Edomites, it's a group of Edomites wrote that. Not just one. It's a group of Edomites wrote all that. Not just one. They the ones, like what they call the council. They all came together and wrote that. Matter of fact, in Alexandria, Egypt, Edomites.
Right, right.
So everything you see happening now ain't Trump. He just the one that he the one that got stuck out there, but it's a group of Edomites behind the scenes with all this knowledge from way back in the day that's guiding everything in the direction they're trying to take it in, and they're using Trump as the scapegoat. But everything he doing is what they're telling him to do. It's a council.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
And
We understand that. It's a government behind the government.
Right, exactly.
We already know what it is. Right. But they need us.
Right. He talking about draining the swamp. And he talking about draining the swamp, and that is a swamp.
And that's what I'm saying. It's ancient.
Right.
It's ancient. It's nothing that was just concocted recently. So that's what I'm saying. If we're gonna talk about, you know, Great Britain and her sitting on what she claims to be the throne of David, then they had to have got this information from so long ago. I listened to a Christian brother the other day speak about Jesus, and he was like, no, it was Geno Jennings, matter of fact, and he said, well, we knew that Jesus was born in a place that was of color. And I was like, yeah, that place was of color. But by the time he came on the scene, it was no longer niggas there.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So and that's a science that they don't even want to go into. That we was in the third beast at that time. By the time Jesus came on the scene, we was in the fourth. So who you think was occupying and running this? It damn sure wasn't black folk. So it's things like that. So now you have no problem with the redhead child who is looking and saying, wait a second. Maybe this shit that they've been forcing me to study from the time I was 5 years old, I'm starting to see, oh, y'all been had a plan for me. Y'all been had a plan for us. And the question is this kid gonna continue with what their prophecy tells him he's supposed to continue with? That's the only thing. We won't know. You see what I'm saying? But they themselves, they have a prophecy. Esau's job is to always do what? To mirror everything that Jacob was doing in order to find grace through the God that Jacob was worshiping.
Right.
That's why they got
There's
the
no other
redheads.
way you could. There's no other way you could look. At the end of the day, I'm gonna fuck about the black, the white, and all of that. Yo, you have Esau and you have Jacob. That's it, man. You ain't. Who cares about anybody else?
Yeah, we got Meghan Markle. I got to infiltrate Garden of Eden. It's always an infiltration. That's a problem.
That's all good.
That's a distraction too.
It's not. It's the right. It's not. None of that shit has. That's what I'm saying. We can have this argument all day about the politics.
Right.
Fuck, the Bible is politics as well. But if you are thus saith the Lord, then the politics don't matter to you, man, when you're doing what you know. So we're watching it just play out. Well, that's what I'm saying. Being set apart is saying I'm gonna watch the politics. And not invest in it. Knowing what the scripture tells us is gonna manifest. Instead of us saying, nah, we gonna write the scripture our way. This is what they've been doing. They saying, nah, we see what God say, but we finna write it this way. And that's Hebrew. That's that. Well, Esau Hebrew. That's Israelite and Edomite alike. You see what I'm saying? We watch it with our Hebrew Christian brothers and sisters. They writing the shit their way. And we watching the Edomites write it their way. You see what I'm saying? That's what we've been doing for the longest.
Right. And like I was saying, we piece by piece, we doing like the guy said with the donkey. He wanted to bury the donkey. He put him in the hole, dug a 6-foot hole, put him in there. Instead of throwing dirt in on top of him, but he's shaking it off and packing it up under him. And by the time he look up, the donkey standing up there looking at him because he been shaking all that off the whole time. So where we at today is we getting truths, whether it's in Jubilee, Jasher, Enoch, we getting these truths and we standing on the truths.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how you connecting the dots. You connect the dots by the truths that you already got. So when a clown come along and say something and it pertains to the truths you already got, you already know it ain't shit.
Right.
But when somebody come along or he leads you to somewhere to connect the dots that what you already got, you know it's the truth.
There you go. That's what I've been saying for the longest. That's how you know. Dig, all praises.
Right.
Damn.
Right. So let me play
Yes,
this.
sir.
Because we all came here for
That's
one
it.
reason or another.
Right.
If it's one,
that's the truth.
I came here for this.
Right.
I came here for that. I came here for that. If you got it from here, that's where we at.
Right, exactly. But you gotta know he's gonna bring it to you no matter what. But
right.
Y'all familiar with that? They've been using this word lately. I noticed since Trump won, DOGE, Dodge. You heard that?
Doge, yeah.
Doge. Check it out. We're gonna close with this.
Government with your hard-earned money. I mean, what if I told you the former FBI deputy director spent $70,000 on a conference table for his office, while kids in your local schools don't have enough supplies? Meanwhile, $120,000 went to figuring out why prisoners want to escape jail, and $1.5 million encouraging New Yorkers to play more video games, while veterans wait months for their benefits. Because the dirty little secret right now, Maria, is the people we elect to run the government, they're not the ones who actually run the government. It's the unelected bureaucrats in the administrative state that was created through executive action. It's going to be fixed through executive action. Let's not sugarcoat it. Government spending, it's out of control. And it always has been. Every year, taxpayers fork over nearly $7 trillion for programs, agencies, and, well, let's just say questionable research projects. Like the $100,000 study to see if sunfish get feistier after a few shots of gin or tequila. Here's what we learned from that one. Sunfish apparently enjoy a stiff drink as much as the next guy. But should we be footing the bar tab for this? This isn't just inefficiency, it's theft. One wasteful program at a time. Wait until you hear how the IRS's 1984 technology is costing you billions. That's coming up. But it's waste like this that President-elect Donald Trump, Elon Musk, and Vivek Ramaswamy are here to stop. They've launched a bold plan to tackle these absurdities head on. They're calling it DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency. So I'll explain what DOGE is, what it could accomplish, and if this once-in-a-generation effort can actually deliver. And I'll explain it in plain English. First, the masterminds behind DOGE, Donald Trump, the former president and soon-to-be new president.
He is the mastermind behind it. These Edomites.
Who thrives on disruption. Elon Musk, the tech genius who turned electric cars and civilian space travel into reality. And Vivek Ramaswamy, entrepreneur, author, and sharp critic of bloated systems. Together, they're promising transparency and action.
As the second Trump administration ramps up, the newly created Department of Government Efficiency is already getting to work. And now we're getting a better sense of where they'll start looking to make cuts. Vivek Ramaswamy telling Fox over the weekend that the Pentagon budget is due for an overhaul after the Defense Department failed its 7th consecutive audit with some $200 billion unaccounted for. Nearly $1 trillion, a budget they can't even tell you where it goes. Also, potentially on the chopping block, the Department of Education. It has been a Trump target for years. He says education policy is better left to local communities. And Ramaswamy suggested if DOGE gets its way, it could be gone for good.
And yes, they're even starting a podcast called The DOGEcast to pull back the curtain on how waste and fraud operate in plain sight. They're also rolling out a government leaderboard, publicly ranking agencies on their spending efficiency. Think of it as Yelp for bureaucracy, where wasteful programs get shamed and cost-cutting heroes get celebrated. DOGE's mission.
So what I was trying to find I'm gonna find it. Maybe I'll bring it up tomorrow. But the people that he nominated in his cabinet, they all Edomites. They all Edomites tied to this. So they finna gut everything out in the government. All hell finna break loose. They're gonna be people, people broke and people without jobs all over the place. At the same time, they're gonna be rounding
That's
up
the whole
people.
idea.
Yeah. All hell
And
finna.
it's the same way. It's the same
I'm just
way
saying.
that they said that without straw, Pharaoh, we're gonna do it without straw.
Make brick
Fire
without
in the hole. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
It's the
and you gonna
same
love it.
thing.
No, remember, but ain't that what the World Economic Forum Klaus Schwab said? You gonna own nothing and you gonna love it. So
Exactly.
There you
you finna
go.
use this brick. You gonna use this brick without straw, and you gonna still love it. And that's what I'm saying. When I said it, man, it is, yo, this it hit hard when you think about it. That this is what I'm saying. Like, if we are what we say we are, right? Hebrews
Right.
with Israelites,
Exactly.
then during these times, the only scriptures we could go to is when Hezekiah was faced up against them Assyrians. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Or so there was only one thing Hezekiah knew he could do.
Right.
One like Hezekiah was like, yeah, yo, you got the right amount of how many clips you got? No, Hezekiah knew. He was wise enough to understand, yo, this battle ain't something I could just go out there and just put my people out there and win. We are us as Israel. He's bringing us to our knees.
Exactly.
Period. Right now, that's what he's doing. So we are inundated with all this information of shit going on that we cannot be invested in one way or the other.
Right.
Who the hell else can we lean on?
Exactly. Right.
So if a lot of people ain't coming to that understanding, I don't know what the hell y'all doing.
Right.
I don't know what y'all.
Exactly.
Well, some of us is doing what we supposed to do. If we supposed to be getting together,
why it's a remnant.
We supposed to be, you know.
Remnant.
Yes, sir. We supposed to be getting together.
Right.
So
I was reading the other night, right? And so this ain't nothing new because I was reading the other night. You can get a King James, Jubilees, whatever. What did the Israelites kept doing? They kept running to the Pharaoh.
Right.
We doing the same shit now.
Thinking, right.
Come on.
But we ain't thinking about we need to get ourselves together.
The Redeemer.
Yes.
Right.
All praise.
The only
He
way.
putting your heart there. He putting your heart there, but you fighting against it. You kicking up against the brick. I know something different. I'm doing this. No.
Who would do that? You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Who
I like to wonder.
would do that? You feel me?
Exactly.
That's all I'm. Now we have once again the conundrum. People who are believing in on Christ.
Exactly.
And you have the ones that are understanding
exactly
how God deals with his people.
Exactly.
Them the only fucking two you have.
Exactly.
Period.
And then you figure out which one you at. Because you on this channel at this
Look,
time.
man,
We doing the Shabbat. Let's
I don't
get it
care.
popping.
Look, I don't care what fucking channel you on or wherever you at. Them the only two you got.
Exactly.
You got them that believe in on Christ and them that understand how the Lord of hosts operates. I don't give a fuck what channel you on.
Right.
Either you pay attention. I'm on this channel. Why? You're on this channel. Why? Because we relate.
Exactly.
Period. That's why we here.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? We relate. We understand. You know what I mean? You this ain't the time to be teaching. I'm sorry, man. This is the time to be preparing.
Right.
So if you with what people like to say, like-minded and all of that type of shit, then all praises. You know what I'm saying? But wherever the hell you are, if you know what the scriptures say,
right,
you should be getting what
And
you
at
need
the
to be
same
getting and
time,
doing what you need to be doing.
facts. And at the same time, we know what like-minded is. Because if you can get one or two, what was that? Sodom Gomorrah. If I can get one or two people, if I can get 5 or 6, that's like-minded.
right.
He ain't find them one, did he?
That
He ain't
comes.
find them one, did he?
That's gonna come natural because of who's behind it.
Right.
He's gonna bring you to the light.
Right. Thank you.
That's how that works. So you're
You
gonna.
see what I'm
Yes, sir.
saying?
Oh,
You
All
got
praise the
you
Most
think
High. I
about it.
love
If
it.
if
I
if
love
if
it.
if you're gonna say if you're gonna bring up Sodom and Gomorrah, that shit was destroyed, wasn't it? So obviously he couldn't find them.
right.
See what I'm saying? And just because Abraham was his friend, that's how Lot got taken out. So there was no people there. If you could find 50, if you could find 5,
Right.
if you could find, I hate when I was a kid reading this shit. I'm like, oh, I gotta read all of this, knowing that I knew there was never ever gonna be anybody there.
Those Edomites.
You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Right. So if we're looking at,
go ahead.
Yes, sir. No, yes, sir.
I was going to say the same thing. That Russia's running around here.
You can find even. That's how we ended up on the West Coast. He didn't find no righteous man. When Antiochus came, he couldn't find no righteous man. That's why he cast us off. Back in the day with Moses, he found Moses, and then before the flood, he found Noah. But how we ended up on the West Coast of Africa, he looked and he ain't find no righteous man. That's how we got cast off.
And then the same thing about it is, are we not on this same channel being on one accord? No,
Now,
on this
why is
channel.
that?
Hey,
Why?
all
That's the
praise the
question.
Most High.
Thank you. That's
Because
it.
it's hold on, Mike. It's Brother Leonard. It's me. It's you. It's AJ, and it's Sarge. Man, was that more than it was before?
Either way, it's thus saith the Lord, observing a lot of things. Look, there's many other brothers. There's many others
Of
that's
course,
out
I'm
there.
not talking about
But
everybody else. I'm talking about on one accord. I'm talking about right now. If we had to put our head to the ground and put our hands in the air, could somebody holler at your boy?
Oh, we finna do it. You right.
Come on, that's what I'm
You right.
talking about.
But that's what I'm saying. We are. That's where we are right now. That's, you know what I'm saying. We'll sit here and do what we supposed to do as watchmen. We're observing. We're watching.
It's not about watchmen and observing. What it is about, we on one accord because he said to them, they're gonna cry out. It took them to cry out. I don't know how many of them cried out, but I'm just saying they cried out. What he said, few in numbers, little by little, they cried out. I don't care if it was 3 of them. Didn't he say that?
Right.
We good. All praise the Most High.
Yeah. I'm in Obadiah. Obadiah, only one chapter, verse 20. It says, "And the captivity of this host of the children of Israel shall possess that of the Canaanites, even unto Zarephath, and the captivity of Jerusalem, which is in Zarephath, shall possess the cities of the south." 21. "And save yours," with an S on it, "shall come up on the Mount of Zion to judge the Mount of Esau, and the kingdom shall be the Lord's." So it's more than one.
That means
right.
It's few in numbers. We got a remnant.
No.
It says the remnant.
Look,
more than one.
No, hold up.
More than one.
Look,
there's a remnant. That's what a remnant means.
Now, right. It's more. Now, pay attention. That's what I'm saying. If you listen to what Leonard just read, save yours. Pay attention to what Elijah said.
Right.
when he ran from Jezebel.
Right.
Elijah was like, God, I'm the only one left.
Exactly.
I'm the only one still repping you. And God was like, oh, word, nigga. Oh, you good? You need something to eat? Let me give you something to eat. You ready to die? Let me sit you down over here. And then God told him, I got how much other people to take your goddamn spot?
For sure. Because he was stiff
You
necking
understand?
it. It was a
He wasn't
stiff neck
stiff.
process. It
He was not.
was. Because
He
he's
was
talking
not
about,
stiff.
out of all these people, I'm the only one. But see, it's more than just the
It's
only
not. He
one.
wasn't stiff. It wasn't. He was stiff necking, bro. Come
I
on,
don't
he's
need
human.
you.
He
But
what?
I
No,
don't
that's not
need
what God was
you.
saying. It's not what God was saying either. It was still a situation of pay attention to who
No,
I
I
am.
understand what you're saying.
And that's what he was saying. That's all it
Yes.
was. So this is what we're saying is there's many others that's operating like us. That's just how it works. God don't make the mistakes. So there's many other bros and sisters that's out here doing this shit. We just ain't connected yet.
Right. He gonna connect us.
He gonna
He gonna
connect us.
connect us.
But at the
He gonna
same
connect
time,
us.
they don't see it the same way at first. That's what I'm saying. Because
I don't
he
know what they
connecting
see
us
from what
right
they don't
now.
see. I don't know what they
Us
see from what they don't see, bro.
on this brother's channels is what I'm talking about. Shalom to Mr. Leonard. Shalom to Mike. Shalom to Sarge. Shalom to AJ. That's what I'm saying. We here. We ain't got to worry about nothing else. See what I'm saying? They gonna come. If you build it, they will come. Don't they say that? That's
Yeah.
what I'm talking about.
Yeah. So he said it's
All
gonna be.
praise.
So he said it was gonna be. He told Elijah it's gonna be. He got 8,000 reserved, right?
Right.
Yeah. So to put a seal on that understanding, each one of them prophets each one of those prophets had a son. That's why he said that. That's why he said that.
Okay, the seed. I see what you're saying. I don't have a
Sure.
seed. I would keep it a buck.
Well,
I don't have a seed.
Either
But I hear
way,
you.
it's not about you. It's about
Jezebel had
right.
killed. She had killed 8,000. She had killed 8,000.
Right. 4,000. She
But
killed
4,000.
right. She killed
Each one of them had a
4,000.
I
son.
understand that.
Each one of
So
them had a son, though.
this is what caused Elijah to be like, I'm the only one here.
Right.
You
But
see what I'm saying?
I understand each
Now,
one of them had a son.
right. Now understanding that God was like, you okay. Don't worry about it.
Exactly.
I got a shit ton in the corner over here that's gonna be what I need them to be.
Young
Period.
bucks. Young bucks.
Young, right. So it's like saying, so Elijah thinking God ain't got no come up.
Right. Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? Like God is like, what the fuck you
Same
think?
thing
I've
now.
been doing this. Right, I've been doing this a long time. What you think?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
I've been
That's
doing
what I
so
was telling you.
I'ma always have cats. So, look at Ibrahim Torre.
Right.
I'ma always have niggas that I need where I need them at.
Exactly.
Period, man.
He
That's
did
all.
the same thing
Or
with
you gonna
You know what I'm
bring them.
Moses.
saying?
You're gonna
He
bring
did
them
the
where they
same
need to
thing with
be at.
Moses.
You're gonna bring them to where they
Or
need to be at.
he gonna bring them.
Right.
He
Or he
brought
gonna
him the
bring them
same
to where
thing
he
with
need them at,
Moses.
man.
He told Moses,
That's all.
hey, he can't speak. I can't speak. Well, I'll give somebody to you that can speak. Your brother, and I do all of this. Your father, I do all of that. Of course.
Right.
He's going to bring you forth.
Right.
Right.
All praise.
We can't deny. Right. Like Leonard said earlier. A lot of cats came and it wasn't time for them.
Exactly.
But guess what? We still learned from all of them cats that came.
We looking
See
at
what I'm
it.
saying?
Exactly.
But it wasn't time. It wasn't time. But yet they all came.
Exactly.
But one time. You see what I'm saying? We all still learned. We all took a little piece of this one. We took a little piece of that one. We took some information from this one. and so forth and so on. What the fuck you think Ibrahim Torre was doing? You don't think this nigga knew what Marcus was about, what Malcolm was about, what Shaka Zulu was about, what everybody that's of our nationality was about? All of that. He was infused in this man's soul.
Like he was a student
And
of that.
now he's a student of that. Now look,
I'm glad to hear you say that, Mike. Real talk, brother. Glad to hear you say that.
now
All praise.
look at what's manifesting. You think about it. You think God could have ever made that nigga over here?
No.
Think about that.
Hell, no, sir.
Think
No,
about
sir.
that.
Not able to kill him as soon as he tied his shoestrings up.
So it would, thank you. Listen to what you're saying. It was our job to observe that could not have happened in this captivity.
Exactly.
Over here.
Right.
So look at where we're watching it manifest that.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? That's wisdom.
Right.
That's wisdom. And that's
Money,
respect.
Mike.
And then
For
who
the
else?
Lord of hosts and how he
Who else
moved.
can do that? Who else can do that but Judah? Ain't we Judah?
Praise.
Well, that's a prophecy. That's prophecy.
Exactly.
So however, you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people will read, you know, through what was I just reading? Malachi, is it? Malachi like 5 through you couldn't have had when he's disciplining it was Malachi that was disciplining Israel and not Judah, right, Leonard? It was Malachi dealing with Hosea. Hosea in the later chapters, right? Dealing with a lot of Israel, but not Judah, right?
Right.
So that's not a prophecy dealing with Judah. After, you know what I'm saying, we were separate. So we gotta look at what was going on with Judah. So he told Judah, the scepter shall not depart. We have all of these understandings. So we're watching. I couldn't expect Ephraim to fucking do what Torah is doing right now. I'm looking at Ephraim be a fucking asshole right now in Africa. That's all I can see. I don't know what y'all see.
Right. Exactly.
Why not? Because they don't even like our black asses. If you really look at it, when you really go down that rabbit hole, it's a problem. Facts. And you got something to say about it because they don't even like us over there. They want to eat your head and do you all kind of problems. You know, facts.
Right. That's how we're able to look at and rightly divide everything because of, like he said, all Israel ain't Israel. But we can see their actions and we can see who the Most High using, and we can rightly divide who's who. Like I said before, look at that guy over in Ghana with the president of Ghana. Man, that dude, look at him, man. He ain't no Israelite, man. Right?
He Ephraim, like he wanna be a part of an establishment when you got a brother like Ephraim is saying, let's break bread, let's talk. You ain't finna rule me.
Right.
Let's be partners in this. While they're like, yo, I'm gonna make a league with you.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Look at the difference. Ibrahim is like, no. We not doing that old shit you was doing before.
Right.
I don't want the 360 deal.
Right.
Fucking you a liar, Mike. You's a piece of shit.
Huh?
Yeah,
you call me a piece of shit.
He the one that
Not you, Mike. Now I'm talking about the piece of shit that these motherfuckers want to come after you, Mike, for telling the truth. Always gonna be that truth.
I ain't worried.
They're always gonna come after everybody. When we come with this truth, it's gonna be a problem. Nobody wants to understand this truth.
You always gonna get that shit if you don't have hate.
I already know. I'm a piece. Hey,
if you ain't got
Because
hate, then you ain't doing something right, man. Look at the hate
exactly,
Jeremiah got.
knowledge
So
shall increase. Yes,
you
in
gonna
these
get the
last
hate, man.
days. That's
It
what I'm
come
talking
with
about.
the
They're going to
territory.
look at you as a piece of shit. You ain't gonna tell
It's
his
gonna come.
story.
It's gonna come with the territory, man. It is what it
Exactly.
is.
That's water on
You
duck.
know.
That's water on duck.
That's why I love Mr. Leonard. Water off a duck back.
And then
But
That's all, man.
what did he tell Jeremiah? You gonna make your forehead like an adamant stone.
Mm-hmm.
So everything you throw in, it's just bouncing off. Water on duck back. They ain't
Right,
no,
yes, sir.
but yet they asses still threw him in the stockade.
right,
They still
exactly.
threw him in the pit. You see
Right,
what I'm saying? Like, but he ain't had no choice but to speak the shit that was the truth.
right. And he
The
came
fuck
up out
else could he do? You think Jeremiah was an ill prophet because he didn't give a fuck about popular opinion?
right, exactly. And
He had no choice.
did he come up out of prison?
Hell yeah.
He sure did.
Joseph come up out of prison?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Nebuchadnezzar and Meshach, Bishop, and Abednego, all of them came out of that.
Jethro had Moses in prison. Did he come up out of there?
Of course.
Yes, sir.
That's it.
You see what I'm saying? So, and like I expect that shit. Like, if I don't get it, I know I ain't doing something right.
Exactly. Right. Exactly.
All praise the Most High.
Is it simple? Oh yeah. So we supposed to be we are supposed to already know that it ain't gonna be, you're supposed to be expecting opposition. Like I said, that's all David talking about all through the Psalms is that how everybody trying to kill him.
Right.
It ain't racist because we think JC the Messiah. We can't see David as the Messiah.
Yes, sir.
But
And that's where
like
it's hard for the man. Yes, sir.
Leonard hit that. Leonard bet that corner like a motherfucker. Like he said that, and people don't even realize it. They don't even realize that how much you really got that energy at JC, even though you ain't saying you fucking with him. You still got that energy.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like if you look at the book of Joshua, what it's dealing with Abraham, when Abraham went back and killed all and destroyed all them idols, and they threw his ass. I sent you the video, the white boy, Markel. Who put that shit out? A white boy put this shit out. And we have the book of Joshua, but nobody really paid. So Abraham going into that pit of fire was way before Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego.
Exactly. Yeah. Furnace.
So the furnace, right? So if you look at Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego, these motherfuckers, don't you think they was reading the book of Joshua?
Exactly. Right. You already know that this happened to Abraham.
This happened to Abraham. So they said whether this was always the most important thing that brother said. He said, whether my God saves me or not, I still ain't bowing to your ass.
Exactly. Because I already know
that is the deepest shit I ever read in my life, man.
Right.
Still ain't bowing. So
that's somebody.
Go ahead, Leonard.
That's somebody that's not, like I said before, we've been brainwashed to. We still trying to appease them. Whether it's the European or the damn boule. So when you see what you're saying about Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, they ain't give a damn.
Nope.
They're saying whatever you doing, I already know it ain't right. I ain't going for it.
Right. Whether my God saves me, whether God saves me or not, I ain't fucking with that shit.
And that's the same reason why they got to have your votes.
Right.
That's why I got to have your votes, because you still with it. And it's okay. He's saying it's okay to keep you in captivity. Right. And like you were saying, Mike, we got to fight our way out of here. It ain't the fight we think it is. It's the fight that come out of her, my people. Be done with her. Right. Let the Redeemer take care of this. It ain't got nothing to do with us.
It's mental. It's mental. Like I
said,
come
out of her, my
Thank
people.
you, Leonard. Not even saying it's some spiritual shit. It's mental.
Right. You brought it up earlier. when the Assyrians showed up at the gates of Jerusalem, that was it. Whatever the Israelites is doing or whatever, shit, they all there, 185,000 men at your gate. So what did he do? He didn't fight them. They all went with sackcloth and ashes, and that night the Lord of hosts showed up and killed all of them. They didn't fight nobody. That's like I was saying when you look at this story now, where the Creator got up there now, look at what them Negroes was doing. They kept on begging the Pharaoh. Not once did they go and deal with the Lord of hosts. They keep on going and begging the goddamn Pharaoh.
Just like they're begging Trump right now.
Like they
Make
doing
America great again.
That's the same thing.
We want. It is the same thing. I already know.
Yeah,
we want life to go back, gas prices to go down. We want all of this.
Right. So we watching the
Lord of hosts got a remnant. They ain't begging the Pharaoh, ain't begging the damn United States government, the Pentagon, and all that. You got a remnant. They ain't going.
We calling on our Redeemer. We're done with the bullshit.
Come on.
They want us. That's why they said black men. Why was it so pointed on black men through the election? It wasn't nobody else but black men. Think about that.
So what that say? If they hating on us, then I know we doing something right.
Exactly.
Oh, praise
that's
the
what
Most
we
High,
saying,
player.
right?
Nice.
So that's what I'm
there
saying.
You go.
You get it now. So now that's what I'm saying. We're sitting here observing as watchmen.
Right.
We watching this shit. We
as Judah.
But we don't supposed to be. We don't supposed to be because they hid all the books and lied. We don't supposed to be able to see what we seen.
Right. Yes, sir.
So why
yes, sir.
are we seeing what we seeing? Because we've been called out. Come on.
Now we see why they came at us. And our women to this day hate us for voting the other way and hate us for voting their way. It's just wickedness. Oh, praise.
You know, that's why I say I can't. Right. I can't get them. I don't get emotional over shit that. Yo, the ill shit. What's in Proverbs? I don't know, one of them 2 or 3 that speaks about that shit. I ain't gonna fucking get down and argue with a fool. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit that makes me a fool. So I'm not looking to politic with a fucking fool. Like that's crazy. I'm gonna lose every time.
Right.
I'm gonna lose every time.
And whether Trump win or whatever have you, we already know who won the presidency. We already knew who they wanted.
We see where it's going. Or if not, look at the king that God gave. God gave kingdomship. There was a king. I forgot. Let me think.
Didn't he say that we gonna always want the king over us?
The king of
the
king of the Assyrians.
Yeah, he was taller than the rest of them.
No, not that. God, this is during the time after all of that took place. It was God who set up a king who was not of Israel, but he set that king up. So God set up Nebuchadnezzar. So, like we say, it's God who put these people in place, right? So if they're the ones that's being in place, it's just my job to observe, right, and watch how this shit plays out. Politic with like-minded people, like Leonard's been doing, and let's look how that shit plays the fuck out and see. Oh, I see how this is moving. I see how that is moving. It's not my job to be invested in this type of shit and then be like, oh, I know Trump is this, or I know Trump is that. Look, I don't ask Trump for nothing. I never expected anything of Trump. I never expected anything of Kamala. I never expected anything of Obama. I never expected anything of these people. Why would I? Why would? And that's the saddest shit. That
it's not on you.
I'm just if people say, right, for instance, if people say that they come from certain lineages, right, number one, right, Listen to what Leonard said earlier. Why would I beg my oppressor to give me equal status to them? Does that shit make any sense?
No.
It doesn't, but at the same time, you don't have to beg for it. They'll give it to you. Didn't he say I take this straw away from you? You ain't gotta
No.
beg. I'll
What I'm
take something
saying,
from you.
what I'm saying is it would be foolish of me to expect a person that had me just a week ago
Right.
in fucking chains,
Right.
had me doing whatever they were saying,
Right.
for me to now expect them to treat me
Right.
as if
Right.
I'm now they equal.
Right.
And it's the same people that tell you slave ships never existed. Deuteronomy 28 never
I would
existed. You never came over here in
no.
slave ship.
I'm a
Same people.
right. So in order for that to process in my mind properly, I would say, all right, either God done did something to you folk, or that shit is a lie. Because if I am a person that pays attention to history, then when we came out of the land of Egypt, we got it how we got it. We got it how God gave it to us.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? We weren't in a situation where we had to beg these motherfuckers to treat us like we on. No, we came out and we immediately established we are above y'all. So how the hell can I ever look at whoever the fuck this system puts in office to expect that whatever they're doing is for my benefit?
Exactly.
That's crazy, man.
Right.
That's insane, man. That's insanity.
You got 4 beasts, for example.
Thank
now,
you. You got 4 of them.
Now one of them ain't do right. And then, like I said before, he had to come to Egypt and he beat down the Pharaoh. Nobody ain't dealing with that.
To release us.
He beat him down.
Right. Beat down the gods of the Pharaoh.
Yeah, he beat him down.
That's a whole, that conversation in itself is fucking crazy, because he ain't beat down the Pharaoh, he beat down the gods of the Pharaoh.
Right.
So, you know what I'm saying? Like, even that in and of itself is telling you something. So you think I'm finna beg the people that I know ain't worshiping the God I worship to give me anything? No, man. When God finds it proper, based off of how I'm dealing with him, he gonna make y'all give that shit to me. I ain't asking you for a goddamn thing.
Right, and we looking at it. We looking at the shit. Like I said, but the people they don't have the right mindset. They just told you on the news that they found a whole mountain of gold over there. About 18 months ago. Then now they just found a whole mountain of copper.
Yeah,
they're
over
their head.
A few years ago, it was the same. It was like 60-something billion in gold they found in the Congo about 2 years ago as well.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
None of that ain't ready. None of that ain't ready because they don't know shit about the prophecies. None of they zeroed in on JC.
All praise.
Right.
Yes, sir. I want to see 50,000 or 20,000 computers sitting over there mining something that's coming out the ground that ain't coming out of the ground, i.e. crypto, bullshit, the world trying to give you Esau predictions of the world. We know what's opening up and what it's going to be, and you coming out of here with great substance. Exactly. All praise the Most High.
Yeah. Ain't nothing new under the sun. Same way y'all.
I know what you're doing. I know what you're doing, Kel, and I ain't gonna go there with you right now.
Hey, hush your mouth, Mike.
I know
hush
what you're doing.
Mouth. Hey, hey, I'm just saying it is what it is. We already talked about this. I love your part. You love my part. We good.
Right.
We good, player.
Okay.
Because we gonna meet up at the end of the day. We gonna meet up at the end of the day.
Right. Either way, I'm gonna make sure you do you, Leonard do him, I do me. We square.
That's it.
It's a
And hey,
triangle, but yeah, it's a triangle, but we square. At the end of the day, we no matter what, because we don't know everything, but no matter what, we all gonna be all right on the outside of this something.
hey, Mike, the good, the bad, and the ugly, right?
Thank you. That's what I'm saying.
We'll meet in the middle.
Shit. Exactly. We're gonna meet in the middle of this, and that's what I mean. Either way, we coming out where
The
we
good, the
need to be
bad, and
coming
the
out at.
ugly. The good, the
Either
bad,
way,
and the
man.
ugly. I love you, brother. Yes, sir.
Okay. So before we go out, what y'all think about those intros, man? Y'all think what you think?
I love it.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
Yes,
that
sir.
shit
I
is
love
hot.
it.
Yep.
Even for the
Yep.
ladies' night.
I
I
don't
see
know.
the
That
ladies'
it's
night
so
intro. Mike, did you see the ladies' night intro?
No, I haven't seen it.
Man, I was
I'm gonna
like,
go check it out.
I was trying to get a wedding ring at the
You're a
store.
mess. You're a mess. When I first seen it, I said, okay. I seen the letter, the lion. I said, hell yeah, man. About time he do that. That shit is. I wish I could have fucking done it. I ain't got the technology. I don't got the wisdom to do that, man. But that shit is nice. I love it.
Yeah. So anybody got any codes and comments before we go? We already 2 hours and 20 minutes.
I just want to say shalom to all the brothers that's here, and I hope y'all, we wild, we rough around the edges, but I all praise the Most High. I love y'all brothers, Miss Sarge and AJ, Mike, Mr. Leonard, all praise to you brothers for being here,
Shalom. Shalom.
Okay.
Peace. Appreciate you, Kels. Appreciate it, bro.
All right. Shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom.